When it comes to starting a new habit or practice, the most common excuse you'll hear is, I don't have time, especially when it comes to something like meditation, where, at least the associations you probably have of meditation are sitting, eyes closed, counting your breath, or whatever. Maybe you're even staring eyes open at a wall or something. With other habits like exercising or reading, you're doing something. You're getting something out of it. It's tangible. But meditation, come on. Who's got time to sit for 30 minutes? Shit, even 5 minutes and just do nothing, but just be. And that's the thing with meditation, it's not about sitting zazen or, sitting and counting your breath or whatever. Meditation isn't an act, it's a being as you are, your true nature, and resting in that with everything else about you, about your day, whatever it may be, whether it's the dog, I don't know, the parent teacher association, your manager, whatever falls away. All that you know falls away. And while meditation in the sitting form of meditation is valuable and I encourage it, if meditation is just being as you are, then you can meditate anywhere, at any moment, in any way. Because the way is just, let's just call it a vehicle for the being. And one of the practices that I've found as a form of meditation for me has been eating. I've got a plate of protein French toast here. I eat it every morning and it's lunch, but I'm eating it again because it's delicious. But eating has been a meditative practice for me since probably over 2 years ago. I started this practice where I just eat with no stimuli, nothing. I'm with whatever's in front of me and I just eat. I experience the eating. There's no like I don't even have my phone with me. There's no looking at my phone, there's no listening to a podcast, there's no talking to someone. I'm just here now in the moment with the experience that is here, the eating. And that's not to say that I'm not thinking. The thoughts come and go, but just like in meditation, we allow them to pass through. We recenter ourselves, whether it's with the breath, the cold touch of a countertop, or the sensation of support against our lower back in our chair, or the food itself, which we'll get to. But through this practice, I've been able to have some incredible insights when I just sit with the wisdom that is. One that comes to mind for me is like 2 years ago, again, when I started this practice, when I was still living in Manhattan, I had just left my job on Wall Street and I was applying for jobs in what's called corporate development, which is essentially a chiller version of investment banking. Just think a company like Apple or Amazon just with their own investment banking team. So a lot of the people that work there are, lo and behold, former investment bankers. It's one of the prestigious exit paths you can get onto. And I was having a bunch of interviews with all these companies in corporate development, and I just wasn't having a good time. I wasn't enjoying any of my conversations, and I was just wondering, like, what was happening? Is it me, or what could it be? And as easily as I just said all that just now, it dawned on me when I was eating in silence, stillness, that I was still holding on to this identity of being prestigious, successful, that I pursued when I worked in investment banking. Corporate development was just another slightly step down, if you want to call it that, but still it carries some weight. You know, if you go around New York City and people ask, "What do you do?" It's, "I work in corporate development." So stupid. But that just shows our attachments, the hold that identity can have on us. And as soon as that insight came, it appeared in the form of a thought. I was like, "Oh, wow. That's it. No shit, I'm not enjoying these interviews. I'm interviewing with former bankers most most of the time, individuals who I just don't resonate with, and that's why I left." And you're telling me that I would just be trying to recreate the same environment, the same frustrations? Yeah, no thanks. So just like that, I stopped applying for corporate development jobs and opened up my horizons and found one that was the one that was honestly perfect for me for that chapter in my life. And if you think about that, 2 years, right? Let's just say 2 years I've been doing this every single day, however long my meals take, which they take longer because I'm present and not just shoving food in my mouth. But 2 years of just eating food as a meditative practice, how much that accumulates over time without actually having to sit and meditate. So I say that to say, you can absolutely make the space for meditation. You can make the space to be as you are in your day. It's not the doing, it's the being. And saying that, how many of you throughout a day are as you are? You're not wearing some mask of student, employee, son, daughter, husband, wife, grandparent, whatever it may be. You drop all of that, you are as you are, experiencing the freshness of the moments. And we all have to eat. We all have to eat, we all shit, we all walk, whatever. So why not turn all of those into a form of practice? So with that, I will guide you through eating practice. Obviously, I don't normally talk, but in guiding, I will. Say you have a meal, whether it is of your choosing, just be with it. I've got French toast, so often I'll slice into these blueberries and just kind of, so if you can see this, just sort of just swirl it around, kind of like, oh, there we go, just like paint. It's like I'm just watching the It's like painting, just watching the mix of deep, whatever it is, purple or crimson, swabs of tan from the peanut butter forming into this amorphous layer on top of the French toast. Typically, before I eat, I'll just say a little, I don't know, blessing or prayer, if you will. Again, I have no formal things to say. I just kind of say whatever feels right. So, thank you for this meal. May all sentient beings be nourished, cared for, protected, and loved. That we don't have to slice fast with whatever eat, even if, say you have soup or something, you don't have to do it with any urgency. Just what is there other than this moment? Maybe smell it. I'm congested, but just admire it. The way the light reflects as if over a pool of water from the syrup, blueberry juice, and peanut butter mixture. Looking at the in-between layer of bread and the pockets of air that have made their way through. You'll need to go into the next bite immediately and take a deep breath into your stomach and begin again. I don't talk with my mouth open, but when you're eating your food, how does it feel in your mouth? How does the mouth feel? Swirl around with your tongue against your teeth and just see what you notice. Do you taste the individual ingredients? Do you taste the blueberry, the bread, the peanut butter? If you're eating something savory, maybe it's that flake of salt, or is that pepper? How's the granule against the tip of your tongue? We're not in any rush. We're here. Can you eat a meal as if it was your last, or rather, if it was your first? How would you experience it without the concepts, without the knowing that you have? Again, I'm using words to say like this is peanut butter and blueberry or whatever, but can you just experience it with newness, wonder? Eating is a pleasurable experience. Life is a pleasurable experience. And yet, we rush through it. We look at our phones as we cut off huge chunks of food and just hop into it, just unconsciously, here but not here. We're so wrapped up in our thought streams, the mundaneness of our life, and all the shoulds and responsibilities that we forget to just be here experiencing this gift. And while I'm eating, you know, I'll notice things like the coldness of this countertop over my bare skin, the slight pressure of this beanie over my ears. Just noticing the different sensations in this experience of eating. And if you have a thought, which the point of meditation, I would say, I don't know, well, I think a misconception with, again, I'm using meditation loosely here, but any meditative practice is that you're not supposed to think, that you're supposed to be devoid of thought. But when you do that, all you're doing is creating resistance and more shoulds in here, and lo and behold, the thoughts get stronger, you get stuck in them, and then you beat yourself up. We beat ourselves up a lot in life, but especially meditation, because we think we're supposed to be Zen, like monks who don't feel pain or pleasure or experience a damn thing, and that there's just nothing in here. The nature of our minds is that we think. They do that a lot. There's like 80,000 or something thoughts a day. And it's not about having no thoughts, though you may drop into that place of stillness where they seem to slow down or they don't appear as often. But to simply notice them, just like you notice the way the blueberry has colored, that's not focusing, has colored the interior of the bread. The cold touch of the fork, the reflective quality of it. You just notice the thoughts. And if you find yourself getting stuck in the stream, then you can return to noticing, whether it's the food itself, the breath, a sensation. Just return and begin again. Hmm. Normally, I have a warm beverage in the morning. I might tell you to notice the vapor or the sensation against your tongue, down your throat. I have water instead. Notice the coolness of it. Switch it around. How's that feel? What do you notice? You can see how something so simple, and perhaps that's how things are, is that they're simpler than we make them out to be. It can be so much richer of an experience if we're just fully here, now, with them, however it wants to be. I'm not thinking about whatever else is going on. If the thought comes, allow it to come. Return to the experience of eating, or drinking, or sitting, and begin again. This time is about you. This moment is about you, about being as you are. And if you can create as many moments, I think you can create moments. If you can create as much space in your day to day to be as you are, to sit with yourself, to notice what wants to arise, you'll be surprised at what you realize and how your experience begins to shift. So, I hope that you found this video at least interesting, if not some way beneficial. Maybe put it on when you sit down for your next meal and just see what happens, what unfolds. I'm not saying you need to do this every single meal. You could start with one a day, even once a week, and increase it as you would like. Whatever feels right and good to you. It's only you know. Well, my French toast has gone long, cold, which is great. It's a different experience than I typically eat it with. But I would like to get back to my meal and not have to talk to you. Not that I don't enjoy that. But I would like to just be with myself, be with my meal. And yeah, I appreciate your time. I'm grateful for you for tuning into this interesting, weird video. And I encourage you to give eating practice a shot and give anything, any kind of practice a shot. Whether it's writing, walking, sitting, shitting, whatever. But be as you are and allow whatever vessel of doing or action to be your practice. So, with that, thank you. Enjoy your meal, enjoy your day, and we'll talk soon.